I remember a long time ago, I think you were still in nappies, and it was actually the moment when I thought there's more to roles than just having a fish. We decided to go for a fish, and the weather was terrible. It was a howling southerly, scattered showers, cold. Roly boys running around in a by the gills shirt, about 5 sizes too big, and a nappy, and we had some fresh nippers and some beach worms. We got down to the beach, and both the boys started to fish, and we were just catching small whiting, like no bigger than this jig. And every single one that came in, Roly was holding the whiting and walking it back down to the water to release it. Anyway, perhaps 20 minutes in, Milo would have caught a couple because he catches everywhere he goes, but he doesn't like fishing really at all. He goes, "I've had enough," and runs off and chases all of the wildlife in the area, the pelicans, the birds. And Rolly stood there in the rain, fishing the whole time. And I remember thinking, this sucks. I don't want to be here. This is gross. I'm cold. But there's something, there's more to you than just wetting a line casually.
Yeah.
And from then on, you know, every single one of my lures has been carried around the house at some stage. We've got some beautiful photos of you walking around in Dad's work reading glasses, because I can't see, carrying Dad's lures in each hand. Some of them are a bit flash, mind you. You would never let anyone else touch them, just you. Yeah, that'd be it for me. Like, that's when I knew it was in Rolly's blood, this sport. Where is that? Did you throw it in the bin?
I grew up in Coffs Harbour. I've lived here all my life.
All 10 years?
Yeah. Yeah, and I know this place. I know every corner in it. I've been to pretty much every place. Yeah, so I know it like a book. I can read it with my eyes closed.
Been pretty lucky. Like,
Yeah.
we've done a lot of trips together locally, and you know, this is an amazing place for anyone to grow up, really. But the sea's definitely, I'm sure it's in your blood because it's in mine. Like, I know when I go away for work, and if it's west of the Divide, I feel this need to be back next to the ocean. Brush your teeth too, please, matey. We started with the basics, which is fresh bait, light line and small hooks, and that's the secret to it, really. I mean, a lot of people we know and family, friends and what have you have, you know, we went camping down south somewhere, and it wasn't as far as Nelson's Bay, but in that sort of area. And a friend, he actually played in one of the greatest bands ever to come out of this country, comes up with his daughter and says, "Can you give me a hand to help her catch something?" And they had like one of the old Force 10 wire traces to literally a 3/0 octopus hook, and you're not even in the game. Whereas really, for anyone starting out and for fishing with young ones, your children or someone else's, light line, small hooks and fresh bait is really the secret. Kids don't really care, and we'll touch on this shortly, what they're catching, as long as they're catching something. It could be slimies, could be garfish, could be yakkers, could be toadies. Like, I remember when...
Yeah, I love catching toadies. Like, I remember when I was 4 or 5, we'd go down to Moonee, just get some yabbies, start catching flatties, and then you'd see like 2 or 3 toadies just start paddling across the flats. You'd cast at them, and when you get them in, they puff up, and it's so funny.
The kids love that. Where it's not until you get to this age where you become a bit of a fish snob and only chase big ones and prestigious captures, which I'll never change. But you know, it's not about what the grown-ups want. It's about what the kids need to enjoy their fishing and enjoy the outdoors while they're doing it.
So, I love fishing because to me, it's spending time with Dad, going camping, and big kingies and spanners jumping through the air on a stick bait, barrows jumping through the air in the middle of the night with the moon shining on them, watching a barra eat on live scope, all of those things, but mainly being with Dad and camping out in nature. Yeah, that's.
We've camped in some wild spots. We've done some missions where you drive all through the night. Roly boy falls asleep in the car and wakes up in the swag in some questionable locations. But you got to do that to be able to get to some of these spots. Becoming a dad changes everyone's life. Any parents out there or parents to be, you'll never ever sleep the same ever again. But you know, with its challenges come some of the greatest rewards you'll ever reap in your entire life. But in terms of fishing changes, it really had to re-establish or redefine patience, and you know, you have to learn to I needed to change what I did to meet Roly's needs, no longer meet my needs. You know, I had the luxury before being a dad, luxury might not be the right word, but you'll know what I mean, of doing whatever I wanted and fishing for whatever I wanted to fish for. Whereas once Roly boy got into fishing, you know, that was the pumping yabbies, beach worms, bloodworms, your small hooks, small fish. Because if you're able to teach the young ones, say, how to catch mullet on bread, that skill, whilst it seems like nothing, that transfers across to every single other aspect of your fishing. If you can catch a mullet on a small bit of bread with a little hook, you can catch anything. And to see what he does now as a 10-year-old, say, hook setting metre 19 barra, it's phenomenal. But I still need to do it. Like he has got at the moment eyes too big for his guns, because he wants to catch 20 kilo kings and massive yellowfin, and I would love to catch all those fish too, but I've got to remember that he's 10 years old, and there is, despite having some of the most advanced equipment at our fingertips, there are still limitations to what Roly boy can do. His potential is endless. He's just got to grow a little bit, and we just need to balance that out between, you know, you got to fight a yellowfin last week for a few minutes, which was incredible. I still remember handing him the rod with a black marlin on the end of it when he was 5. And he just went, "What do I do now?" I was like, "Just hang on." Well, I cleared the spread. But no, certainly, you know, you learn a lot about yourself as a person, and as a father, learn a lot about myself as a man, you know, and patience, perseverance, and really just enjoying where you are. And I get to do it I get to surf every weekend with Milo, which is our eldest boy, another privilege, but getting to fish with my equal best mate, Milo and Roly, like, just to transfer what I know about fishing to him, and then the stuff he shares with me or shows me, it's just incredible.
Fishing is fun to me because it requires a lot of patience, and I don't know why, but I just like that aspect of it. And you can make lots of friends fishing. Like, I've made a lot of friends over the years through fishing, like connecting through fishing. So
Fishing's cool now. It was never cool when I grew up. It was, you fished alone. Now all the grommies love fishing, and whenever we go somewhere, they're all, hey Roly, what are you catching? Little goats. So you will get a nice couple of shots. Ron can get a couple of shots of you with the fish. And then we'll get him back in. You've got to see seals and great whites, and had a few topwater spanos eaten by sharks, which is devastating, but caught a cobia off a leatherback turtle. See heaps of whales, dolphins. Get taken to a lot of places that you probably wouldn't see without fishing as a sport. We're very lucky.
I started getting into slow pitching when probably a year or two ago now, watching Maddie Schultz jig nana guys at the reef, and I went, oh, that looks so cool. And that's what got me into going in the boat. I said, hey Dad, can we go on the boat, just go out to this reef and slow pitch? And it was like second drop, I got a snapper, and I just fell in love with slow pitching. And I've started researching a lot about slow pitching, watching some slow pitch videos on how to get better, and then I teach them to Dad, and so we both can catch lots of fish on slow pitch.
It's true. It's very true.
Not bad. Snapper?
I have no idea.
See, that's why I like slow pitching. No idea what you're gonna have. That as soon as we said, I haven't had a bite.
You bitter. You also bring a fresh set of eyes to fishing, and as you get older, I always thought I'd never be the kind of person to be set in my ways, but I really do try not to be. But you know, that last trip we did to Callide, when traditionally you'd go to Callide and it's stinking hot during the day, so you'd just fish at night. We got to maybe 9 a.m. We did an all-nighter on the boat because we didn't book any accommodation. It's my responsibility. So we're like, okay, we may as well just go fishing and fish all night. We didn't get a bite. And then Roly says at 9 in the morning, Dad, how about we go and fish the trees? Now, normally I'd be in having a bacon and egg roll and planning a sleep. But that day we went and fished the trees. I was like, yeah, what? We may as well. And we got bit by a couple of
Little ones.
smaller fish, and then we got a metre 18 fish at close to 10 a.m. And then that was, because of that initiative, that idea, that drive, I suppose, to keep fishing and try new areas, we ended up having the best fishing trip we've had ever. I think Roly got a metre 19 out of the same area, which is a hectic story in and of itself. I remember saying to you, we got a metre 18 here yesterday, and this is full moon day. And Roly's up the front of the tinny, and he put a cast on this tree that was like pinpoint accurate. Mate, he says the best yep when he gets a bite and sets the hook, and he goes, yep. And I've seen this thing come out of the water. We're catching rats, like 50s. That's not a 50. Anyway, we both kind of didn't say anything because we usually run 60 pound.
Or 80 pound.
Or 80 pound. And we're both like, I'm going, oh my God, because you couldn't see the lure because it had inhaled it. And then when it hit,
And it was 50-pound leader, and we normally use 80-pound.
when it hit the net, we both go, "Oh my God, that was 50 pound." I was like, "I know." His awareness, you know, there's things, and it speaks volumes to Roly as an angler. He knows things. He pays attention. He knows the detail. He knows how to sweep a lure. He picks up on all the little things. He knows I know a rod by feel, not necessarily by the code or what it's called. He knows every single rod, how it should work. And I mean, this is years and years and years and years of asking me questions about, Dad, if I took this jig out in these conditions to this spot in this depth on this day, what would I catch? And what if I worked it like this? And I had to answer every single one of them because I'm your dad and that's my job. Remember when we took Uncle Jack up to Awonga? That's my littlest brother. He lost about 11 lures, broke a rod and caught nothing, and I've never tied more FG knots in my life. True story. And Roly got a metre 1 and I got a metre 14, but it was a genuine slog. And when we got back, my brother said to me, I've never heard anyone answer more questions in a weekend than that weekend. But the value is in Roly as an angler. He's that aware of what's going on, and he's caught some incredible fish for a young fella just starting out on his angling journey. I know Brett is a harboner from Daiwa. Lovely fella, is over the moon that Roly gets me out into the deeper water with jigs, because I don't do deep, Bretto. But now I do.
So, fishing, it's hard to explain how it makes you feel because there's so many emotions going on. Like, sometimes there's excited, there's happy, sometimes there's anxious, sometimes there's sad, sometimes there's angry. You never know. Because I think the type of fishing that has the most emotions is topwater spanos, because they always miss it. And they have such sharp teeth, and sharks are absolutely everywhere. So it's just, you don't know what's going to happen. And if you hook one, which is hard to do, but if you can hook one, you're going to be very anxious the whole flight.
Well, I think fishing, Roly's only 10 and Milo's 13, so they're not at the age where, or they haven't lived a life where they've had to feel this yet, but it, for me personally, is one of very few times where I'm so attuned to my surroundings, the environment that you're in, because if you are able to be so present that you tune into the ocean and the other creatures in it, the watercolor, the current, the wind directions, read the birds, you remove yourself from all of the other distractions, like could be work, could be bills, could be traumatic life events, whatever it might be. For me, it's always been that place where you can go and you are safe to focus on something that is incredible. I mean, and Roly touches on it occasionally. He says, my fishy tingles are telling me something.
Yeah.
And that's that presence of mind and that instinct where you're almost a sixth sense. It preempts something, or you know something's about to happen, or a particular lure or method might stand out to you for some reason, and if you're distracted by other things, you don't fish well, and you aren't connected to the environment that you're in, and you're not present, and you're distracted. And like anything else in life, if you're distracted, you don't do it well. And in some, life for everyone presents different challenges, and some of them can be grossly difficult, and fishing has always been that place where I feel the most alive, and probably do my best work, arguably questionable sometimes. No, it's, yeah, it seeing some of the things that we see, you don't see in a classroom, you don't see in an office, you don't see in a city. That's actually being alive. I'm so lucky to share it with him.
So who are you going to be?
Mike Benici.
And what about me?
You're just gonna be me, Mike Benici's mum.
Okay.